The bells are ringing in Stratton, Nebraska. Situated in the southwest corner of Nebraska's Great Plains, this farming community was founded in the late 1800s by settlers following the railroad west across the prairie. Since then, some things have not changed. The railroad is still a major thoroughfare for the transport of coal and other commodities, and farming continues to be the dominant industry around Stratton. But when the 2000 census came out a few years ago, townsfolk here received a wake-up call that things indeed were changing, but not for the better. The census showed that the surrounding area had lost roughly 1/4 of its population in just 10 years' time. Stratton itself lost 16% of its population, a big loss for a community now numbering just 400 people. Town Mayor Richard Burnt is a banker and one-time farmer. He says those population losses reflect the broader changes going on in Midwest agriculture.
When I was younger, when I first started farming in the early 70s, a lot of 4-row, 6-row tillage equipment and, combines, things of that nature. Now we're talking, 12, 24-row. It just takes less and less, or people can farm more and more ground with less and less labor. And that's a big player, there's no question about that.
The depopulation of the Midwest farming communities is a drama that's been playing out for decades. Towns that once had 1,000 or more residents early in the 20th century now have populations of several hundred or less. Churches close, schools close, some villages have disappeared altogether.
To a large extent, these communities were formed to be the link between farmers and the farm community and the national economy. And as the farm and ranch share of profit in the food system shrinks and the number of farmers and ranchers shrink, the opportunities in these communities shrink.
A bleak picture? Well, perhaps, but is it the end of the story for the remaining towns? Many here say no. In Stratton, that means looking for a business opportunity, one that could turn the town's small size and isolation far from the nearest interstate highway from a negative into a positive. Success came with this upscale modular housing company, Timber Creek Homes. The firm started operations in Stratton in 2001, building prefabricated custom houses in sections which can be shipped by truck and reassembled at an owner's property site.
In rural communities, you usually find people who number one, they have a good work ethic as a rule, and number two, they are usually good in working with their hands, which is what our industry requires, and number three, the educational system is such that if they get through school, they usually can read, write, and are highly trainable.
Timber Creek now employs nearly 50 people from Stratton and the surrounding area, and it's looking to hire even more. With Stratton's fortunes now beginning to change, townsfolk have modest goals: attract more families, start gaining population again, and keep Stratton on the map.
You're always going to have new opportunities. We had Timber Creek move in, and that was a wonderful opportunity for us, and we took advantage of that. But if we can maintain what we have and take advantage of the opportunities as they come along, that's really should be our desire.
Jeff Yastine, Nightly Business Report, Stratton, Nebraska.